leadership will determine the level of growth of your business. If you are not there to show up as a leader, then no one else is going to show up for you, and especially in a time of crisis.
So imagine this, you're running a successful gym in upstate New York, and all of a sudden a virus comes about, the COVID virus, and you have to shut down your massively successful gym and figure out how to pivot, how to move, how to reinvent your business so that you can stay profitable and afloat. Now, this isn't just the story of gym owners, this is the story of many entrepreneurs across the United States and the globe. And today I've got my good friend and one of my private coaching clients, Ryan Obernesser here, who literally went through that experience and is currently crushing it even during the times of COVID. So Ryan, welcome to the show, man.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, so appreciate you being here, dude. So the Empire Show is all about teaching entrepreneurs, new and seasoned, kind of how you grew your empire in times like this, how you maintain your empire and how you keep your empire from falling apart and et cetera. So kind of walk us through pre-COVID what your gym looked like. And I should probably ask you, where is your gym located specifically?
Yeah, so we're located upstate New York, a small city called Utica, New York, in between Syracuse and Albany. Voted in 2015 by Forbes as the #3 worst place to open a business. But of course, that's our hometown, so right. We decided that we wanted to open our business there.
Right there.
I do like to try to prove people wrong, and that's exactly what we did. And we built a successful training facility. We do small group training, large group training, as well as private training. We did have an athlete program as well. And we grew that to become massively successful. Obviously, COVID has put a little stunt in our growth and how we run things, but
so let's talk about as far as like number of clients and number of coaches and team members that you had so that we can have like a before and after snapshot.
Yeah, so pre-COVID, roughly 315 plus clients. We have 10 to 11 people on our team. We've actually been able to keep everyone on the team from pre to post-COVID. That was one of the big things we wanted to do was we didn't want to have to let anyone go. We wanted to make sure that everyone was taken care of no matter what happened. So that meant we needed to pivot fast and we needed to figure out a way to make up for any losses. But that's where we were before and then to now.
Now when we tell our audience that, man, this guy had a successful gym, like I want them to know, like it was a you were pushing 7 figures at that time of your success. And so when we talk about a successful gym, some people might, and there's nothing wrong with a gym that does 150, 200,000 a year, but if that's just revenue, your profits are probably either non-existent or you're taking maybe a couple $1,000 a month home. When you're doing near 7 figures or 7 figures in your case, you're taking a nice chunk of money home. You and your wife are living a good life. Your team is grateful and appreciative. And then come March, and this whole virus thing kicks off. Yeah. What do you think, like that first week or 2 of March when it happens?
So originally I thought there's no way we're gonna get shut down because we're located in a small town. It's like there's no way this is gonna touch us. It's just gonna be major cities.
Right, you're not in Manhattan, you're in Utica, New York, for crying out loud.
And of course that changed pretty quickly. And we had to shut our doors on March 16th. And it was something, one that you taught me last year being at Empire was just the importance of leadership and stepping up for not just you and your family, but also your team and making sure everyone's taken care of. And then one thing that really stuck with me that Craig said was a quote from Greg Bredeman that during a time of crisis, leaders are people who exude hope and they absorb fear. And I felt just like looking around, you turn on the news or social media, whatever, it was just nonstop fear. So our goal was to be the positive news. Yeah. And that first started with our team. So like within hours of finding out we're gonna have to close, we had a big team meeting on Zoom.
Because I could imagine that your team at that moment is thinking like, holy crap, if he closes, I may have to get laid off. I may have to lose my job. And so as humans, we're selfish and we immediately go inward and go, what about me? Yep. And so as the leader, what is the message that you're sending them, not knowing what's about to unfold?
For us, the message was that we're gonna push through it no matter what. We're gonna take care of everyone as long as we physically can or financially as long as we can. And ultimately, if there's anything you need, to let us know. So if if you do need something more, if something's not working, if you need help, like please come to us.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that everyone is able to stay afloat, so to speak, no matter what happens. And that was our goal from the get-go. Honestly, again, we didn't think it was going to last 6 months.
Right.
We were planning on like 6 weeks maybe, but that was the message we want to put out to them too. We want to keep the positive. Like we don't want anyone to get into a negative, fearful mindset, including our team.
Fear creates shutdown. Like we've known this, and for everyone watching and listening right now, you got to know that right now we're having the Empire Mastermind here at Fit Body Bootcamp headquarters in Chino Hills, California. It is October. No, yeah, we're in October. We're in the third week of October right now as of filming this. So the election hasn't happened yet. The world is going back on lockdown. Some say it's a political play, others say it's not, it's COVID numbers, whatever. Let's put all that aside for a moment. We're just straight talking about business here. And when you need to show up as a leader, before you could ever show up as, hey, here's the game plan that we're going to execute, remember what Ryan just said, and we've had many other guests on this show, and Craig and I have talked about this before. A leader shows up with hope first, letting his team know that no matter what, we're going to push through. You didn't know it was going to last 6 months. You didn't know how many clients were going to quit. You didn't know how many clients were going to point a finger at you and say, if you even attempt to open, then you're trying to be like Hitler and kill people. Like that's the kind of conversation we're hearing from business owners when they try and go back to business even a little bit. And so, but you're like, hey team, no matter what, we're going to push through. We're going to be okay. You gave them hope first, and then you started leaning into strategy and said, if you ever have any uncertainty, questions, ask me, come to me. Because the media, social and television media, is just pumping out fear and doubt and uncertainty. And so you have to be the antidote of that as a leader, right? And so you and your team connect and you guys talk. Now let's fast forward a couple months. You've lost some clients. I know you and I spent some time on the phone, coaching calls, etc. What were some of the business pivots you did to keep staying profitable and to maybe create some new income streams?
Yeah, so like I said, we had that meeting on March 16th. We immediately went online. So we were fortunate we have a full-time videographer. So we were able to start filming the next day. We started what we called OBTV, and we shot 70 live virtual workouts that we did not just for our members, but we did for our community. We started off doing twice a day until we found out that was a lot harder than we expected.
Yeah. Someone's overtraining.
Yeah. And then, and for me, like I hadn't been coaching, so my wife and I went back into coaching. We were running all of the workouts because at that time, you couldn't even go into the gym. Like we weren't allowed to go into a business at all because it was not essential. So it was just my wife, myself, our videographer, and we would sneak into the gym, close all the doors, and shoot videos. Yeah. And we would do the live workouts. We also came
Did your clients accept those live workouts well?
Yeah, they really did. And again, the angle that we had on it was positive media. So it wasn't just a workout. It was the banter of my wife and I going back and forth, which apparently people like.
Sure.
when we bicker.
It's kind of almost probably like a reality TV show as they're working out and kind of being a fly on the wall looking into your life.
Yeah, and really that's what we wanted to create. So we would have conversations with the audience. And then we also did something special on every Friday. We did a live virtual concert. So we connected with local musicians in our area. We would have the full-on light shows, everything. And we would have...
And would you do it right out of your gym?
Yep.
So your gym now became a venue for online coaching. It became a studio to film in, and it became a stage to have like live concerts that you guys can pump out virtually for the community.
Yeah, because the musicians couldn't perform anymore, so we thought that, hey, let's connect with them. We can help raise money for them, and also gives entertainment to our people who are stuck at home.
Brilliant. So let's talk about we unpacked a crap ton of Empire lessons here. So another lesson on top of obviously delivering hope before you deliver tactic as a leader is that you've got to show up with speed. Like you didn't take the I'm going to wait and see approach.
No.
And I know that because obviously, one, you just said no, and two, I've been coaching you throughout this whole process. And not for once was it, well, let's see if we're going to open up in 3 and 4 weeks. In the meantime, cross my arms and do nothing. It was constantly, I'm going to keep doing something. And the reason you want to keep doing something, guys and gals, is because one, you want to give your team hope and keep them positively engaged in something, in some kind of work. Number two, pour into your community and your clients, because if they're isolated, they're starting to feel lonely, because I know that's how I feel when I'm isolated. And so you went right towards speed. So speed of implementation is a massive Empire foundational pillar. And so is finding many ways to reinvent yourself. And so you reinvented yourself in your gym by saying, look, we're going to be a studio to film workouts in and pump out workouts. We're going to, pretty much you and your wife did almost, just organically how you guys are was a cool, entertaining show to keep people entertained as they're working out. And of course, you bring in musicians into your studio, light show and all, and really pump out great content, music, which is also pumping out goodwill to your community, and it keeps them engaged. While everyone else is taking the panic road, you're taking the, I've got a plan and I'm going to execute it. Not knowing whether it's going to work or not, but doggone it, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to take a plan and execute it.
Yeah.
And so with that, let's talk about something else, because there was a whole slew of business, not just gym owners, but there was a whole slew of businesses but gym owners included, and we talked about it in the mastermind yesterday. As soon as the COVID happened, 2-3 weeks go by and gyms don't open up and restaurants don't open up, and they just, all right, I'm dead. It's over. Yeah. What is the mindset that you carry, and what do you think is the mindset that those people carry? What's the difference?
I think it comes back to what my wife would say is that I'm relentless. Is I don't want it, I'll just keep fighting until I get what I want. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter what I have to go through. Eventually, I'm going to get it. It's just a matter of how long it takes.
Where does that mindset come from? For you especially. Again, you can't speak for everyone else, but where does it come from in you?
I would say that the mindset for me comes back to, so growing up, one of the interesting things, I guess, about me is I didn't go to the first day of school until I was 15 years old. I was so anxious and nervous, and I missed out on so many opportunities of hanging out with friends and doing things because I always dealt with this crazy anxiety where I didn't want to do things for the first time. So I couldn't stand here and talk to you. I would never have been able to do that, and it was really pushing through that and not giving up on trying to figure out how can I become better and how can I fix that or change that, which for me was through fitness. Is once I started to get involved in fitness and training, and I realized I could change myself, I could change anything about myself, not just physically, but also mentally.
Yeah, and I imagine fitness and working out also was a big kind of antidote to the anxiety, right?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's been for me. Whenever I've had anxiety attacks, panic attacks, fitness has always been the thing that kind of keeps it away and wards it off. That's good to know. And what do you think is the mindset? Because I also know, as we have been pivoting your business over the last year and a half now, you're also starting to coach and consult gym owners and people in the fitness industry. When you talk to someone like that who you can tell is willing to give up so easily at the first sign of adversity, what do you see as a sign? What led to that, or how do you coach them up in helping them become more relentless?
Yeah, so in talking with my clients when they're going through this and similar situations, they've been shut down, is thinking about what they're going to gain out of it. We talked about it yesterday in the mastermind that right now we're building body armor and all sorts of mental armor in resilience, and you're getting so many lessons during this time period. So in switching that mindset from, again, away from the negative, away from the fear, but also looking for the opportunity of what's going to be on the other side of this, and thinking forward to the future that if I make it through this, look at all the other places that are going down.
Yeah.
I will be the one standing, I will be the one that's left, and that's going to show up and continue to grow the business into the future.
And that's a really good insight. So many people look at this event that we're experiencing, the COVID event and the economic turmoil that's coming from it, as, holy crap, this is the thing that's breaking me. But as we talked about in the mastermind yesterday, this is also the thing that's making us. In that this 6 months, or let's say it's going to be a year of dealing with this nonsense, is going to give us a decade's worth of personal growth. I don't know any one book that you could read, any one event you can go to that will give you a decade's worth of personal growth. Yet if you choose to stay in the fight during this COVID period, and that doesn't mean that you don't have days of doubt. I'm sure you had days of doubt. I certainly had days of doubt and hopelessness and uncertainty and anger. I even read a message for you guys in the mastermind that I sent out to our Fit Body owners, talking about how some days I'll wake up in this just OODA loop of overwhelm and hopelessness and anger towards just the politicians who aren't doing anything what I think is right. But then I realized, wait a minute, this is an opportunity of growth. And while I can't control all those things, what are the elements that I can control? And how about I start controlling those? And typically it goes right back to my fitness. I'll go right to the gym and get an awesome workout in. Lately, since March, since COVID started, I started running about 3 miles every other day. That's helped me a ton, both in my fitness and also just dealing with my and as it turns out, and it's worth sharing here, have you heard of bilateral stimulation by chance?
I have not.
So bilateral stimulation, your brain is divided into two halves, right? You got your left side and your right side. And when you're running or you're doing anything in the gym that's repetitive, you are actually engaging the left and right side of your gym or your brain. And so if you've got a problem or an uncertainty or a question that you need answered in open loop, typically if you can engage both the left and right side of your brain, they'll help problem solve through that better than just sitting down and going, okay, I'm gonna physically sit here and try and think through my problem. It's not gonna happen. It's when you're swimming repetitively. It's when you're lifting with reps. It's when you're running, cycling, and anything you're doing like that that has some kind of rhythmic movement to it creates bilateral stimulation. And so I found as I started like running, I'm like, why am I really getting so much value and problem solving as I'm running? And I just started doing research. I'm like, holy crap, there's science behind this that explains what bilateral stimulation is. But every time I go into that darkness, I come back out with, hey, there are elements I can control, and I'm gonna go control those. And this has truly been an amazing year of development for those who have chosen to stay in the fight. So let's go back to your business. You know, obviously you're pushing 7 figures, everything's rocking, you got 10, 11 coaches, you got 300 plus clients, and all of a sudden you're in one of the probably 3 states, I'd say, well, probably 4 if you look at Pennsylvania and New York, New Jersey, California, okay, 5 states, Michigan, that I believe are run by absolute tyrants. And
I agree.
When you have a governor like you guys do, like we do here in California, who just don't want to even consider the idea of opening up businesses, how did you stay profitable? Because while you weren't able to obviously stay at the same level of revenue, you're still profitable in your gym.
Yeah.
You launched a coaching business with gym owners, and it's clear to me with my outside eyes that you're going to thrive through this. So how did you stay profitable during these crazy 6 months?
Yeah, so alongside of the OBTV that I told you about earlier, we also launched our own online coaching program. I would like to say that we had some foresight and we knew this was going to happen, but we ended up developing our online coaching program back in November. We hadn't launched it yet, really, so obviously COVID was the perfect time to really push into that. And essentially what we did was take some of our internal programs that have been really successful for us, take that same structure, the same format, so we could really quickly put it right online. We started delivering workouts that way, and then we started to sell our online programs. Once we got all of our members taken care of, that was kind of phase 2, was now we could start pushing the marketing again and pushing out to our local community for online programs and then beyond. So that's really how we were able to stay profitable is we started selling the online coaching. We put in the systems for all of our coaches now to transition how they serve not just our clients, but new clients. And it was actually, it worked out obviously really great because we're still here.
Yeah.
And has been a huge savior for us. And now looking forward, I think that's going to be a game changer just for the fitness industry overall. Unfortunately, I don't think things are going to go back to normal. You know, things are going to be different, especially if you live in major cities. So having that additional revenue stream is going to be a necessity for good profitability and for survival. So that was really the difference for us.
Yeah. So, but as we're seeing all these, gyms and trainers going online, the competition, the noise is so high.
Yeah.
And so you did strategy number 1 is let me stop the hemorrhaging of clients. Let me service my existing clients first and keep them on board and keep their payments going. If they're happy clients getting results at home, they're going to keep paying. Then phase 2 was, now I need to get new clients on board to my online coaching program. So with all the competition out there, because all of a sudden you're not now competing, you're no longer competing against all the gyms and trainers in Utica, New York. As soon as you go online, you're competing against gyms and trainers worldwide that have bigger followings, that have the blue check mark, that have marketing agencies behind them. So what did you do as a quote unquote little guy out of Utica, New York, when you didn't have the biggest online presence because you were brick and mortar making 7 figures? What did you do to start getting clients on board? Because I think a lot of people are like, now that I'm in the big boys field of online and competing against so many, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, but you were able to do it. So what were some of the strategies used?
Yeah, so first strategy was we started local first and expanded our net that way. We didn't just go worldwide, we didn't go nationwide right away, because you're right, we wouldn't be able to compete in that marketplace. So we started to expand our net little by little. And then the other way is we started to find different ways to build our know, like, and trust factor. So, putting together a free Facebook coaching group where we can invite people from all over to come in and interact. They get some free content, they get results in advance. And then once they know, like, and trust us, now we can have a conversation about, hey, would you like to invest in a more personalized program? So that was really allowed us to expand beyond our let's say our 10, 15 mile radius and get out across the states, is that we were able to alternative ways develop that know, like, and trust factor besides just like, hey, here, go buy my stuff. Because you're right. You're not going to be able to compete in that marketplace unless you're willing to put down a lot of money. And for most places right now, it's not the case.
You nailed it. That's the thing. It's showing up differently. It's the pattern interrupt, because all of a sudden, March 16th, 17th comes around and all these trainers go online. Yeah. And everyone's saying, go buy my stuff, right? Go buy my online coaching program. And I get it. We all need money. Of course, we're going to try and sell your online coaching program. But they don't know you from Bob right now. And if they don't know you from Bob, you know that I got to build a know, like, and trust factor. I got to get these people to know me, like me, trust me if they're going to spend money with me. So you took the extra step, and this is what your instincts don't tell you. Your instincts go, oh my God, my money stopped. I need to go and find more money and just make people buy my shit. And when they don't buy it, people get deflated.
Yeah.
These gym owners get deflated. When instead you're like, you know what? I know they will buy my shit, but first I need to show them who I am, know that they teach them to know me, like me, and trust me, that I'm the authority. And so I'm going to offer a free thing. And Costco has been doing this for years. You walk through the aisles of Costco and they're sampling everything new. And you very quickly go, well, that was good. And it was free. There was no risk. I like it. I think I'll buy a box.
Yep.
And that's the same model here. It's the extra step, and it's the pattern interrupt. Everyone else is saying, buy my shit. You're like, hey, I got this free group. Come try us out and hang out. It's a really cool community. And we're doing some awesome stuff in this community. And they're like, what? You're not going to sell me anything? Nope. Just come hang out in this free Facebook group, see what we're about. And if you like who we are, there's higher level stuff you can buy.
Yeah.
And then I love the fact that you slowly went from your community to still your state to surrounding states, and then grew that way with your online coaching. And so that's a great lesson there. So what are some big, let's say, marketing, leadership, profitability takeaways that you can now pass along in bullet points to anyone watching this? Because one, the disaster has not gone. Craig said it best yesterday. He said, we're in month 4 of what would be a 12-month journey. And anyone that thinks that after the election, the COVID is going to go away, guys and gals, it's not. And I don't know if it's going to be a vaccine play, if it's going to be a let's keep people muzzled play and a power control play over society. I don't know what the ultimate end game is, but I can tell you that even if things did go back to normal, there was so much financial downfall that the next disaster we're going to deal with is a massive economic fallout. I mean, look, just 2 weeks ago, Disneyland laid off 28,000 employees.
Yep.
Like, those people now are jobless. They need to become part of the workforce. The work is not available. And you're going to see that happening more and more as the PPP money begins to run out. So what are some of the big takeaways that you can share with young and seasoned entrepreneurs here that will give them kind of a psychological or financial edge?
Yeah, I would say the first one is something you taught me last year when it comes to leadership. Being part of the Empire Mastermind is that leadership will determine the level of growth of your business. If you are not there to show up as a leader, then no one else is going to show up for you, and especially in a time of crisis. So if you're not showing up every single day with that positive attitude and you're exuding hope and you're talking about how we're pushing into the future and like we're going to get through this, it's not going to work out right. If you're showing up negative and just repeating what you saw on the news, or just getting upset and having Facebook battles and all that stuff, like
which we see a lot of today, don't we? A lot of Facebook battles. Oh, Biden. Oh, no, Trump. By the way, look. Whoever becomes president, and I put up a post this morning on Instagram, like let's just remind the world that you are the president of your life.
Yeah.
You can make a lot more, and you have a lot more influence on your own life than Biden or Trump ever could.
Yeah, and that's part of the, I guess, mindset I've always looked at is, doesn't matter the outside influence, like I can still control me, and like I'm going to be able to take care of myself and figure something out. On the marketing end, I would say one of the things I teach my clients is everyone has a 5-figure network, like just between your friends, family, past clients, current clients, you can find 5 figures worth of income when it comes to online coaching, because that spreads everywhere. And if you're willing to put the time in, have the conversations, like you can start something today if you really wanted to.
And so many people are afraid because they know, we all instinctively know, like, dang, I got 5 figures, maybe 6 figures just in my network of people that I know, the people who have former clients, my existing clients who can give me referrals. But it's that fear of rejection, that fear of what seems like a cold call, the fear of asking for a sale. And if you don't get over that, you're
Yeah. And I forget who said it yesterday in the mastermind, but they said that like the more you tell people what you want, the more people will help you get it. If you don't tell people what you're trying to do, so like that was the other thing when we closed. We told everyone we know, like, we're trying to build our online program. If you know anyone, please let us know. Oh, they do? Okay, cool. What's their name? What's like, we keep going with all the steps. We don't just stop at, oh, thanks, like send them our way, because they're never going to send them your way.
never.
And then also, on the marketing end, if you're never gone online, like you need to start, like, and just sell something. And then once you sell it, build it. Don't think you need to build the perfect thing right away. That's a mistake I've made numerous times in business over the years, and you build out this perfect program and you find out that no one wants it. Like, just start talking about it, start telling people. Once you find that there's interest, now you're onto something. And that's kind of how you can differentiate yourself in a really noisy marketplace, is you can niche. Like, you can niche down. You could be the best online coach for horse riders. I think
Which we actually have that person in the room at the mastermind today.
That's what we think of it.
She's crushing it,
one of our coaches was talking about offering programs for water skiers, because she's a professional water skier. Like, I don't know if anyone wants it. I guess they do. Like that's great.
There's enough of them out there that will pay you.
So from the marketing end, like, I guess don't downplay yourself before you even get started. Just because you've never sold something online doesn't mean you can't. We never sold anything online until 6 months ago. Now we've sold enough where we have 6 figures online. Just from doing it. Just from starting.
Yeah. And that's, you just nailed it. And what a great way to end the show is just start, because you're not going to hit a home run out the park when you start, but you are going to get on the field. And you might strike out, and then you're going to go back up to bat. But you're still on the field. So many people just sit in the stands and watch the players on the field and go, I wish I could be like them. They used to strike out. And us, continue to strike out. I've launched during COVID that just didn't work. And I just threw it aside and kept moving. And we have to do that. And if we don't, then obviously it becomes the kiss of death for our business, and we end up looking for the government to give us handouts, and that's never a good thing.
Well, I think we talked about mindset earlier. I've always looked at those people and like, why not me?
Why not me?
That was something that I've always thought is, doesn't matter what they're doing, who they are, but instead of saying like, oh, that must be nice, I would say, why not me? Like, simple. If they could do it, why can't I do it?
Great message. And so if our listeners, and we've got a broad range of listeners, but if they're gym owners, personal trainers, they own boot camps, CrossFits, personal training studios, where can they go to learn more about you and maybe end up working with you or getting information on how to grow their business from you?
Yeah, best place is going to be Instagram. My Instagram handle is just my name, @Ryan Obernesser. If you're interested in mentorship, gymprofittakeoff.com is
gymprofittakeoff.com.
Yeah, that is the mentorship program. You fill out an application and, again, talk, see if it's a good fit, and we go from there.
Very cool. Well, listen, guys, I wouldn't be recommending someone, especially in the fitness and gym world, if I didn't sign off on this guy. And not only is he proving it, because there's so many imposters in the industry who sell the shovel but have never used the shovel. This man uses a shovel, is selling the shovel, and the shovel he's selling is a really fine one. So really appreciate you all for watching the show, listening to the show. As always, do us a favor and leave us a 5-star review and leave us comments. Please share the show. We don't have sponsors. We pay for this out of our pocket simply because we want to pay it forward and serve you. And as always, don't forget to share this with your mama. We'll see you later.